Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Start off with Nicole. Start off with Nicole. Looking hella foolish today in front of Jada. Because Jada came in there and Jada was like, oh, I think I got Eric's phone. And she was like, oh, you mean while y'all two are in bed or whatever? And I'm just looking at this chick like, are you, are you serious? So Jada calls her out. Jada's like, yo, why are you so bothered? You being a married woman and everything. And basically it's like, you're looking for reasons to fit, for us to fail. And I don't remember if she said jealousy, but she was just calling her out on all the stuff that came out of her mouth. And even on Nicole was like, oh well, I'm just very protective of him because we're friends and blah 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 blah. I mean, come on. Jada saw right through her. So they're going back and forth. Eric walks in and Eric is like, what's good? After Jada got back on her phone and left, Erica's like, what's going on with the tension? Now, before that happened, Nicole got caught in a lie. Nicole got caught in a lie as far as offering Eric a job, when in reality, that wasn't the case. Well, not in the beginning. And, she was about to walk away, and Nicole was like, oh, well, could you, just wait a minute. Let me explain. I'm like, well, you got caught in a lie, and you want to sit there and try to lie to get yourself out of the lie. Wasn't this chick like a master schemer back in the day? Like she was going toe to toe with Sammy. What? She lose her touch or something? So anyway, like I said, they're going back and forth. Eric comes in, and Jada leaves. So now Eric is like, what's going on? What's up? What's up with the tension or whatever? And that's when Nicole's like, oh yeah, I lied. I lied to Rafe, and I didn't want to tell him about the dream, so I told him, that I was going to offer you a job, and then I had to sit there and kind of backtrack and everything like that. At this point, Erica's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. So they kind of pass things up, and Erica's like, well, but that's a, yeah. Erica's like, all right, you just got to be honest at this point, because I don't want to sit there and hurt, Rafe or whatever. I'm just not looking at this like, man, at least one person is thinking about Rafe. It's clearly not going to be Nicole's. It has to be somebody. And they both admit that they had sex dreams with each other, about each other. And then after that, it's just this really awkward pause, and then it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go downstairs. I'll meet you downstairs. And I'm just like, I don't understand. It's like Erica's like, all right, I don't want to sit there and do this because you're lying and stuff like that. And I don't, if you're gonna be, let's be honest. Let's make sure that Rafe knows I don't want, Rafe to get hurt. But now you both just admitted that you had sex dreams, and you're just like, nah, well, I'm just gonna stay. You know, like I don't get that. She just told you that she had a sex dream about you, and she's married, and you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay. I don't know why, but I feel like that just kind of goes against the character's core a little bit. I mean, I haven't been watching it that long, but he seems like he's a very upstanding guy. And even though he's not a priest anymore, I mean, come on. The girl just told you has a sex dream about you and she's married and you're just like, no, that's cool. I'm just gonna continue working and taking pictures. So after Ray questions Craig, Jada comes into work. They talk about the fact that, well, Ray talks about that he doesn't think that Leo did it, but with Melinda, once she finds somebody that fits the bill, she goes in guns blazing, which is really bad because I'm just like, she doesn't seem like she has a really good track record when you think about that. Like she jumps the gun on a lot of this stuff that I've seen. It was Rafe. I mean, it was Rafe at one point. It was Bella at one point. I'm like, boo, aren't you tired of losing? I was like, how is she still the DA at this point? And she keeps losing a lot of these cases. I guess she wins most of her cases off screen. That's the only way I can see how they still keep her around. I just. But anyway, Rafe was like, listen, why don't you go through the evidence or whatever with Clyde. Turns out that when Jada did that, she was going through the timestamp because, there's a timestamp. Well, it shows on the surveillance video that he is fishing. But when she checks the timestamps, it doesn't match up. So now his alibi doesn't check out. On top of the fact that, Clyde is already daydreaming about the fact that he was in Sonny's office and he looked like he was about to come at him with a knife. Of course, Will kind of snapped him out of it. When he was at the hospital, they go back and forth. He gets his little drug test done, and he's good to go. Trying to look sharp or whatever for the wedding. And Nancy was sitting there talking to Chad, talking about vanilla and everything like that. He realized that it was Clyde. So he goes to the hospital, and he's in there with Will, and they tried to get somebody to remember. And at first I was like, bro, y'all pushing him too hard. You might want to just kind of slow down a little bit. But Sonny finally remembers Clyde being in the office. He remembered it was Clyde because my whole day was like, yo, his back was turned. There's no way he was going to be able to see that. But he saw the reflection off of, I guess, one of the paintings or whatever, one of the glass paintings. So when he looked to his right, he saw Clyde. And now I'm just like, because at first, when he said he saw Clyde, I was like, okay, well, how could he be in two places at one time? I mean, the dude has an alibi. So now my question is, what's the motive? What is the motive? Because I mean, I just, I don't see it. I mean, unless it's about EJ again, unless it goes back to EJ and Orpheus making sure that EJ keeps his mouth shut. But the only person that knows was Bella. So unless they found out that he told Bella about, Clyde shooting EJ, or Clyde having somebody shoot EJ, then there's not really that much of a motive, from what I can see. Now Brady comes in and is, celebrating and talking about how, he's able to see Rachel again and everything. And Chloe tells him, how he was able to win. And she was like, well, I couldn't just sit there and just um do it in open court because, Rachel's gonna hate me and Kristen's gonna go after me or whatever. It was mostly about Rachel hating her. And my whole thing is like, well, Rachel is still gonna hate you. Like that just because you didn't do it in open court and Kristen didn't see you, because apparently she has surveillance footage. And that's what she gave to the judge. But because you didn't do it in open, you didn't do it openly. Kristen already had, she suspects that you did something. And even if, just for the sake of argument, she didn't, Rachel's still gonna hate you. So it doesn't really matter at that point. That's why I'm just like, you make it seem like, oh, she didn't see me, so it didn't happen. It's like, yes it did. Yes it did. Now she comes in, talks about how she's gonna be married today, and Chloe is like, she feels that that Nancy's rushing it. But Nancy feels like, listen, doesn't matter if it's today, if it's tomorrow, if it's 2 weeks or 2 years. My feelings is not going to change. And Craig comes in there, and Craig is kind of bothered because now he feels like he's a suspect because of Liam. Long story short, he snaps out of it, and Nancy's happy. And when she leaves, Chloe's like, oh, you got to sit there and get her to change her mind or whatever. Now, usually with Chloe, it's amazing to me because I always sit there and think, like, man, there was a point I actually liked this chick. What happened? Oh yeah, that's what happened, Philip. So as I was sitting there writing my notes, I was like, oh man, this chick is being mad whiny. But now that Clyde is kind of well, he's not confirmed to be the killer yet, but they're really pointing at it. Now I'm just like, I really don't like this chick, but she might be on something. She might want to get Craig to sit there and listen. Which is so crazy because I'm just like, man, for a hot minute I was like, maybe it's Craig, but no, no, it's weird. I kind of feel like I covered everything. Really do. Or at least the most pertinent information. Now, before I go, what I will sit there and say about this move to Peacock is that it's been good so far. It's been really good so far. Don't get me wrong, Days is already doing better than GH in my opinion. Um, every once in a while they kind of have some slow episodes, but for the most part they've been good. And this move to Peacock, I feel like it's even better because they know that they can't just drag their feet out on certain stories anymore, which is which is really great because this is what we want. I mean, yeah, we don't want things rushed, but we don't want them to sit there and be dragging their feet, kind of like the other soaps are doing right now. You know, so I so approve of this Peacock move for so many different reasons. And again, on top of that, the fact that I can sit there and watch it at 9 o'clock in the morning, do my review, and or just even watch it, just being able to watch when I want and not waiting till like 12 or waiting till 8 o'clock for it to come on Peacock and like it's just a great move. It's just a great move all around, and I am loving it. I feel like that's about it, though. I said that before. So, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Have a great, safe weekend. And I'll see everyone in the next video.